As we read Isaiah chapters 1 through 29, it's easy for me to see how important the temple is to Isaiah. Not just that he understands and he goes to the temple, but that the people of his time understand more than just the physical presence of the temple, but the symbolic nature of the temple and how that relates to them and their covenants with the Lord. Isaiah references the temple many times, but in chapter 6, we specifically get to see him in the temple when he gets his prophetic call. Chapter 6 says here in verse 1, says that he saw the Lord sitting upon his throne, and that his train had filled the temple. So when Isaiah first sees the Lord, it's in the temple. And Isaiah feels so unworthy to be in the presence of God with the man that he is. Not that he was bad, but he just felt unworthy. And we learn about some of the things that go on in the temple, some of the rituals and covenants that we make. I think there's a direct reference to the sacrament. If you look at verses 5 through 8, where it talks about the seraphim bringing the coal and Isaiah becoming clean and healed through that. Another time that we see Isaiah reference the temple is in chapter 8. The Lord is referenced as a sanctuary. And for us today, we might not make that connection to the temple, but the people at this time, they knew that language of sanctuary being the temple. That was the safe place. When things would go bad, the temple was a safe place. And Isaiah likens that to the Lord. The Lord should be our sanctuary, our temple, a place where we can go when we have things in our life that we need help with. When we need refuge, the Lord can be that place. Again, in chapter 22, Isaiah makes specific reference to vessels. And vessels were specific objects that were used inside of the temple. And I think that has a direct connection to chapter 1, where Isaiah teaches the people of their iniquity, and he says that their hands were full of blood. And in the temple, one of the vessels for the washing and anointing portion was this cup that was in the shape of a hand. So Isaiah was trying to play on some symbolism that they're going through the motions of being in the temple, but they weren't fully understanding the work that was to be done there. And for those examples, I think those do a really good job of helping me understand that the temple was important to Isaiah, and he tried to teach the people at the time and us today about that.